All right, ladies and gentlemen, you were expecting a little media blitz coming onto the scene.
Oh, you just caught me off guard there.
I did because
Wow.
I forgot to have the opening automatically play.
Okay.
Like this.
Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
From the land of lemons, magic, and neighbors who still wave, it's Voices of the Valley. Join hosts Jim and John as they shine a spotlight on local businesses, city council news, community events, and all the colorful characters that make the Santa Clara River Valley feel like home. From Santa Paula to Fillmore and Peru, this is your hometown podcast, Voices of the Valley.
Yes, it is your hometown podcast.
Wow. Okay. All right.
It's Monday.
Start.
It's
We're not used
Monday.
to Mondays.
I know we are not used to Mondays. So due to scheduling conflicts, we are now going to be doing the show on Mondays at 3:00.
So for all schedules.
Yeah. So there's probably some people out there going, "Oh, wait, is it Wednesday? Oh my God.
Yeah.
What happened?"
Wednesday's a tough day. There's a lot happening on
It's
Wednesday.
in the middle of the week.
Middle of the week, there's city council meetings. There's most
Yeah.
people set up meetings. There's a lot of things happening. That's like the toughest day of the week for. Usually, I have a packed schedule. I struggle to get here by on time because there's so much going on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So Mondays is a
Well,
little bit easier.
happy to do Mondays. So we have Elvis's foot that keeps swinging into your frame. If anyone's wondering, what the heck is that
Yeah, well,
little foot that keeps
Gotta have
coming
the
in?
king here.
I know.
So
So, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Yeah.
So we have a few things that are going on. We're getting ready for the State of the City in Santa Paula, which is June 11th.
Looking forward to that.
Now, my understanding is Fillmore does not do a State of the City.
Not yet.
Okay,
So trying to working on it. Have some ideas. Going to meet with the city and see if we can do it through our Santa Clara River Valley Alliance.
Okay,
To see if we would be the host for it.
nice,
So they're receptive to it. I think we just got to work out details.
very cool.
Yeah.
And so with Fillmore, they just had their roundtable,
This morning, the business roundtable.
and how was that? Did it not well attended or?
Wasn't well attended, and I think it was partially due they didn't advertise it very well. And I did discuss that with the city after. It's like, you got to get it out there. It wasn't on social media. It was just kind of a email out to everybody that was at the last one. So we got to do a better job getting businesses connected.
Expand the horizons.
Exactly, because it's I was at the last round table that they had, and there was probably 30 or 40 people there.
Nice.
But how many businesses are in Fillmore?
Right.
So there needed to be a larger outreach. So I offered some assistance with it. It's like, hey, here we can put this together and just get the word out. Then probably in the next week or so, and just see if we can come up with some ideas because their next one's in August.
Okay.
So they do it every other month.
So similar to Santa Paula.
Yes.
All
So they do it the first Monday of the month.
The first Monday.
First Monday of the month. They
Okay.
start their month right off the bat.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting time, but you know what? It works. I mean, I helped them put that together 2 years ago when I was still with the chamber here and just try to expand what we're doing. And so we've had huge success. This was the first one I've seen that where it was literally less than 10 people there.
Okay.
And that was, and I get it. There's a lot going on this week. There's graduations. There's all these other things happening in schools. And you go by any school, there's all the parents are there because they're having programs and doing all that stuff. So could have been partial with that too.
So a Monday at the first of the month, is that not like a crazy time for businesses?
You would think, but it seems to work. I mean, they've been doing that the last 2 years and they've had good attendance.
Okay.
So it's just, today was just the fact that they didn't advertise well.
Right.
And I think that people it was out of sight, out of mind. They, you tell somebody 2 months ago, hey, we have a meeting on this day.
Oh yeah.
You gonna remember? No.
Of course
So
not.
I had to look up last night. I was looking on the website. I'm like, okay, well, I kind of knew where it was. I'm like, they said it was gonna be at City Hall, and I look, and there's nothing on the website. It says to be determined, nothing on social media, and I'm just like, well, how are we gonna get people there? So that's a challenge we're having with a lot of things. Is you got to get the word out.
Right.
So, but no, it was a great. Though we had a good discussion on gentleman presented who's doing the 4th of July car show, which is great. He's they're trying to elevate that event. And 4th of July in Fillmore is just nuts.
Oh yeah.
They sell fireworks. There's, they do their fireworks show on the 3rd, but then the 4th is the car show, which they've been doing that for probably, I want to say 15, 20 years. They've been doing it. Highly successful. But so there was a discussion on that and how it affects downtown businesses, and there was some feedback on that. Like the car show here in town, where do the people set up? They set up their chairs against the businesses, trying to stay in the shade, whatever. People are like, well, what happens if you're blocking our storefronts? Can they put up canopies? Middle of summer, what happens? It's going to be 100 degrees there. Got to have some kind of shade or whatever. So they're trying to figure some of that out. It's an insurance thing. Who can businesses pull their stuff out in the middle of, in front of their businesses to sell? My question was, does the city allow that? So they were going to go back and look and see if that's allowed, because then the people that are doing the event says we have sidewalk to sidewalk, so we don't want anybody to have stuff out there. Well, unless they register with the event. Well, it's your own business. Are you going to really register to put stuff out in front?
Right.
So it's like, well, you need
in front of your own store.
Yeah, you need to know the city ordinance, and if they're allowed to do it, then you can't do anything about that. As long as it's within reason and there's still enough space for people to walk through. So I was thinking more technical stuff there. A lot of people are saying, no, you got to understand what the city's regulations are, because you have a restaurant, they put seats out there, but then they can't serve alcohol because their permits usually for inside their building. So if they have alcohol, who's liable for it? Well, the event organizer is, and the city for allowing that. So there's all these little things you got to talk about.
Excuse me.
So that was me. I was being the technical nerd today. Just like they're talking, I go, wait, I have a question. Hey, what about this? What is allowed? And the city's just kind of like, we'll check.
Yeah.
And because they've never been asked that before, So, but it was very good. It was very informative. Some good feedback for the people that were there. There were some people that were pushing the city back as far as some things that were going on around the city, wanted updates from. So they were trying to work on maybe even the city putting a page on their website that shows kind of progress on projects that they're doing. And then maybe some updated stuff that the businesses have been asking for on these roundtables. Maybe like a recap page or something like that.
Right. What is the budget of it of Fillmore? Do you know?
That's a good question. I don't know what the budget is.
Okay.
I have to look that up because I think they're doing their budgeting right now. So they should be about ready to approve it, but
right.
I'm sure it's on the website.
Yeah. I mean, it's public record, obviously.
Apollo's 90-some million. I think their budget, 95 million.
Are they that high?
I thought it was up there. So
let's find out.
Find out. You got the inside scoop on that one.
Yeah, I do. You know what? Let's
look up Fillmore while you're doing that.
Well, yeah, let's reach out to our in the field commentator. Hey Al, what is the Santa Paula budget for a fiscal year as well as for Fillmore? What are their annual budgets? He's checking.
Okay.
Why are you not talking?
I don't hear him.
I know. Let's try that again. Hey, Al. Sorry. Wasn't here. Oh, I know why you're not talking. Because we're connected to Bluetooth.
Ah, okay.
Uh-huh. All right, Al, try that again. So what's the budget for Fillmore and Santa Paula for their fiscal year? Why is it not coming through? Oh, well.
Yeah, maybe Fillmore's not that high, or Santa Paula's not that high.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I want to say it was like 45 or something like that.
Oh, okay. So Fillmore's budget is 13 million.
13 million?
Mm-hmm. This year.
Okay.
Ending this month.
I want to say, here we go. Hey, Al, how you doing? You're on the air called Voices of the Valley, and we want to know what the budget for Santa Paula is for fiscal year 26-27, or actually, I'm sorry, 25-26. It's a game show.
He's thinking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe can he phone a friend? Phone somebody in the city?
Still looking.
It's that well hidden.
Every time you talk, he stops.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good. I'm just here listening along. Budgets are tricky to dig up live, but I can always help you find them after the show. In the meantime, keep the questions coming. I'll do the digging.
Wow. Al, you disappoint me.
Told you it's the stuff's hidden.
Huh. I want to say it's in the 40 millions.
40 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might be wrong, but I want to say about 40. So if that's the case, then Fillmore is about a third.
13, 14 million, it looks like,
Yeah.
in that range. So, yeah,
That's not a lot for a city to have to do what it's got to do.
especially when you have, like in Santa Paula, they have what, 100 employees,
Yeah.
you know, in the Fillmore, they probably have about maybe 30 or 40 employees, maybe 50 employees, you know,
They must have a park and recs.
the Park and Rec, which one person runs it. And then they have,
One person runs it. Like
runs that,
there's one person period in that
and
department.
the rest of them are like volunteers, or they have, like when they do events and stuff, they get, I think they're like part-timers, kind of like what
Okay.
City does here. But as far as full-time staff, I think they only have one that does it, that
Okay.
organizes it. But I know all the departments are very thin over there.
Yeah.
They're very, very thin. So, and that's all you need. It's not a very big community.
Right.
So, yeah, but yeah, so yeah, that's not.
What about square miles compared to Santa Paula? Do they have the same type of real estate?
I would bet they probably are close to that. 'Cause
Yeah.
Santa Paula's what, 5 square miles?
About that,
5.4
yeah.
Square miles. Fillmore's probably right in that range when you
Yeah.
look at the size of, you know, there's not, I mean, for basically a third of the size, as far as population, yet yet the land is probably pretty close to what
Right.
the Santa Paula is. So, you know,
Yeah, and yet even if you combine Fillmore, Santa Paula, and Piru, you still do not end up with the population of a Camarillo or any of those other places.
you're only looking at 60,000 people at the most.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's not a lot.
So let's talk a little bit about that. You and I were talking off air. You know, there's a lot of, so when I came to California, I came to work with a software company. And when I first got here and started looking at the company and everything like that, started looking at their financials, realized that their gross income was about $400,000. So they made a huge commitment to bring me out because I didn't realize that they were that low for income.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And looking at it, so when I came in and I found out, I was like, wow. But I was looking at the operation and I said, you know what? They are acting like a $400,000 operation.
Mm-hmm.
And with technology and everything that's available to us today, you don't have to look like a $400,000 operation. You can make yourself look like a $2 million operation, a $3 million operation. You know, you can really step up your game. And part of the problem with a lot of these types of operations is that when you're a small operation like that and you're only making $400,000 and you're presenting yourself that way, then that's often the people that you're attracting, right?
Yep.
And so if you want to elevate the game, you got to dress things up. You got to put some chocolate over that,
Yeah, exactly.
and start attracting a much higher clientele. And I think that's true with the Valley. You know, it shouldn't be like Ojai, for example. I mean, to me, Ojai is dirty. It's dusty. It's
Super
it's
small community.
super small. Yet they're the overwhelming perception is that they're very high society kind of. I mean, they're artsy.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of wealth that is living out there. So why are wealthy people being attracted to that? Because that's the way they sold themselves.
Yeah, they know their identity,
Yeah.
and that's who they they know that Ojai Valley Inn is the key attraction.
Right.
Yet again, they have a lot of art shows. They have, the Libby Bowl. They have all these things, and they bring in certain types of groups and programming that knows that will cater to the people that are staying at the Ojai Valley Inn and other little places there
Right.
too. They have their farmers market on weekends, which is outstanding, but they understand who their identity is and how they market it that way, because really, if you're a business, you go in there and you have 8,000 people or whatever is your population, are you going to survive on that?
Right.
No. But people that are coming in on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are probably 70-80% of their business throughout the week.
Right.
But because they're catering that way. They have some. I've been to several restaurants up there over the last year, and you go in there and it's reasonable, but it's kind of got that little fanciness to it, like you're in a high end restaurant,
Right.
but you're still paying decent prices for it. But they have this like an aura about it. It's like, hey, you're coming into a nice fancy place, but it's not. It's just how they present themselves,
Right.
So the wineries are the same way up there. The little shops are catered that way too. So they understand who they are and they understand what they need to do to promote this, And I think we get challenged sometimes in our area here in the Valley that we don't quite understand who we are sometimes. So we got to get a better direction on that. You getting some comments?
Yeah. So somebody just brought in a comment saying that we have some people in that are in this community that continue to call Santa Paula a poor city, and so you get what you get.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that the whole valley, the valley is a beautiful place, and we have some beautiful places to lodge. I mean, you have the Mountain View Inn. You have the Glen Tavern,
Santa Paula Inn,
the Santa Paula Inn,
even the Best Western in Fillmore.
That's a nice, clean, and it's clean.
Yeah, they just remodeled it.
Yeah,
so they get a lot of people there. So,
yeah,
and that's like kind of the little Airbnbs that are out here. Yeah, we have a lot more than people think.
Right, and so, we have the hiking, we have all that kind of stuff that is just for people who want to step out and get away. We could very easily capture that identity as far as being something that is a place to go. You want to unwind, you want to detox,
yeah, whatever. But
come to the valley.
Well, that's
we got the beautiful lake.
Yeah, when I was at the Chamber in Santa Paula, some of the feedback we get from out of towners is that they live in the concrete jungle of LA and they just want an experience. They come out, they see the orchards, they smell the orchards, whatever. And I'm like, I live here. I don't even smell anything like that anymore. It's just like, you're used to it. And I don't appreciate everything that's there. Where people that have never come out to that, they're like, wow. It's kind of like when you go to another area, like I'll go to wine country, we'll go up north and it's like, God, this is beautiful, whatever. And I'm like thinking, well, wait a minute. We have the same thing at home. It's not wine. It's, lemons and avocados and stuff, but it's the same thing.
Well, and the airport is,
the airport.
Is a cute little place,
and people still fly in for that.
Yeah,
for that experience. Yeah.
So
we have a lot of charm here, and I think we don't quite market it the way I've talked about this before. We don't market our communities well.
Right. Yeah, and so you can be poor, but you don't need to tell the rest of the world that you're poor. It's like, what is it? Greenland is covered in ice.
Like 70-80% of it is in ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they call it Greenland because, it's like, people will come to Greenland. They're not going to come to Iceland.
Yeah. Well, but if you look at this community, we may be poor financially, but we are richer than a lot of communities here in this county with what we have to offer.
Yes.
you know, and the mansion is one of them, Glen Tavern, like you said, the museums. We have all this stuff to offer. Yes, do we all make money? No, we don't make a lot of money, very minimal money, but we have more to offer than say Ventura has the beaches. That's great. They have that, that's their big attraction. But I'll say Camarillo, they have the outlets, they have some hiking trails stuff, but it's different, So
Right.
where do you get this charm where it's laid back, kind of casual? You just kind of hang out, some great restaurants in the valley. Like you said, go to the lake, you can go to the museums. There's several museums all over this area. We have more to offer than a lot of other cities. We do.
Right.
The valley has a lot more to offer than anywhere else in the county.
Right.
Really do. And we just, I think we sell ourselves short a lot of times.
Mhm.
And I heard that this morning at the roundtable, as we were talking about certain things that we need to bring in for the community there in Fillmore. And I was using some examples of what we've done in Santa Paula, what we've done in Moore Park and all this. And they're like, well, we can't compete with them, because we're Fillmore. And not in a positive way. It was more in a negative way. And I'm like,
Right.
why do you say that? It's like Fillmore's got a lot more to offer than some of the communities. But the thing is, if you're thinking small, to your point, we're going to be small,
Oh yeah.
So we got to get that mindset. This has been a long history of mindset, the mindset like that. We got to change our thought process. In our discussion earlier, it's like, got to start thinking, if you're a $400,000 company, how much do you have to, where do you need to be?
Right.
$1 million, $2 million thought process,
Yeah. Yeah, because it's who you're going to attract.
Exactly.
And so I think if you look at it's like New Hampshire. Okay, that's where we're originally from. That's where we grew up. They have the leaves, the leaves changing colors in like October. People flaunt themselves over to New Hampshire to see the leaves change.
Yeah.
And I'd be driving down the freeway going, "Oh my God, people, they're leaves. Get over it. Move on. Get out of my way."
But they have seasons.
Yeah.
Santa Paula, California in general, we don't have all 4 seasons like other areas. So
Right.
you want to go see that.
But my point though is that you're talking about the orchards and the smells and stuff like that. I was around those leaves changing colors all day long, and it was like, oh my God, just get over it.
You didn't appreciate
And you don't,
it.
you don't appreciate it.
You live
And-
there. Yeah.
And so people coming in, I know the first time that I came out here, I remember driving on the 101 heading towards Santa Paula
Mhm.
and looking at the mountains and going, "Oh my God, this is so cool. This looks and the palm tree. Oh, look at all the palm trees. Oh my, look at the mountains. You can actually see the mountains because our mountains are all full of trees."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a totally different landscape.
Mhm.
And so people here go there and go, "Oh, look at how beautiful those mountains are with all the trees." And I came from that coming over here going, "Oh my God, these mountains are so cool. Look at how,"
Yeah.
So it's, we in the valley may not really appreciate or take advantage of all the stuff that is here,
Mhm.
but the stuff that is here is attractive to, like you said, the people that are in the concrete jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've always said that since I've been involved with the chamber and other things. We need to know who we are as a community and market us that way. We're not going to, this whole area is not going to get a big box store. We know that.
Right.
We're dependent on our small businesses. We're dependent on traffic flow. We're dependent on our attractions like museums. The lake is a great example and all these things. But so we need to understand that and embrace that and figure out how to make that work. Ojai figured that out.
Mhm.
You go to other small communities that have Solvang is another one.
Right.
Great example with them. They figured out the Danish kind of theme. You go there, it's packed every weekend.
Right.
Every weekend. And they're coming from LA, they're coming from up north, and then they're spending the night.
Right.
So they're getting that experience. And we need to create that experience as a whole, not just Santa Paula, not just Fillmore, not just Pirate, but we need to combine.
Well, the one thing I didn't think about that you mentioned, and you don't even really, it doesn't even really dawn on you,
Mhm.
but all of the fruit stands,
Mhm.
there are people that are coming out because we have all these fruit stands that are along the 126.
Mhm.
And you stop and you think about it and you go, "Oh my gosh, that's true. There's really not a lot of places that have, at least not in the south part of,
Yeah.
down towards Los Angeles and stuff,
Yeah.
that you can go and they're just right out there on the freeway.
Huge tourist attractions.
Yeah.
I know when my wife and I have gone up north in Central Cal, they have all these little offshoots, little fruit stands and other things for all the stuff they grow up there. We always stop and check something out like that because it's like you don't see that in other areas. And it's like, even though we're from here, but we're like, where we have it here, it's like it's different. But they understand that, they attract that, and these growers are doing their own thing, So that is a huge attraction. That could be actually a tourist attraction. Hey, we have 30 fruit stands or whatever we have there, come check them all out, things like that. Prancer's Farm right here, one of the larger ones here, and
Right.
there's the one in Fillmore too that does a lot. They've been there for 50 years.
We need to try to document where all the fruit stands are
That's
in the valley.
part of my thought process for what we're going to do. So
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah,
That would be a good geo hunts.
go to this place, buy
Just-
a piece of fruit, go to the next place, buy a
Just,
piece
yeah,
of fruit.
just have it all about the fruit stands.
And they have to take a bite of a
You gotta
piece
go
of fruit.
find one
Yeah,
and- yeah.
exactly. So
So
find the golden avocado.
Yeah.
In the bin.
exactly.
But if we could ever figure that out and all understand that and all go in the same direction, this area would just pop.
Yeah.
People would stop here and stay here instead of a pass through to Ojai,
Right.
pass through to the beach. Not taking nothing away from them, but it's like because they all do great stuff, but we need to create that here.
Right.
And I've been battling this for 7-8 years now and still trying to get everybody thinking the same, but just get us in the right direction. We're not all going to agree, but just get us in the right direction.
Yeah. So let's see. Oh, we have a public service announcement.
Okay.
Just want to press release just went out that Ken and Betty Lou Wiseman out of Piru have just purchased the new Hall Mansion.
Really?
And
Nice.
so so they have such a great area now because they have the mansion up on the hill, they have the inn just literally down from the hill. It's like a 2-minute walk from the mansion to
Been
the
in
mansion.
mansion?
Huh?
Have you been in the mansion?
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
They've done a couple of open houses recently, and I think they're going to be doing some more. But then they have Corazon, which is right kitty corner to the inn.
Mhm.
So they have a nice little thing going, and I think the mansion is like the icing on the cake, literally the wedding cake actually.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for them.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I want to see about trying to do is, do you know how when you're driving down the 126, you'll see a historical sign for Rancho Camulas,
Yeah.
and you'll see a historical sign for whatever. But there's signs.
All throughout.
Yeah. There needs to be a sign in Piru because the inn is historical. The mansion is historical. They need a sign that lets people know that they're there.
That's working with Caltrans, which could take a while.
Caltrans,
So
yeah.
That's Caltrans, the approval for that. But you know what? It's really worth looking into.
Yeah.
Because if you can get Caltrans to agree to put some kind of highway sign there, and those aren't bad because you get them the same like that shouldn't be a problem. I think probably someone needs to sponsor it, figure out where it's going to go type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that would be great. I mean, do they even have one for the lake? They have signage on the highway for the lake. You're talking the historic signs, those brown
Well, I
ones?
think they have a sign that says Lake Piru, but that's it.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
there's nothing that says about what's going on in Piru.
No.
itself. So
Yeah, those little historical signs that
Yeah.
they're kind of like a cream color, brownish, whatever. Yeah.
So
But-
is it a county landmark or is it a historical site?
The inn is a registered landmark.
State or
I believe it's county. And I believe the inn, I'm not sure if the mansion is registered as a landmark or not.
because that might determine what goes on the highway because Rancho Camulos, I think, is a state historical spot.
Okay.
I think that has a lot to do with that in order for them to qualify to do that. If it's a county site, I don't know if they're allowed to do that.
Okay.
I think that you'd have to look
Yeah.
at that. But
I
it would be
think that-
great if you could put one on the,
Oh yeah.
or something to the effect that would show, even maybe use a property owner that you could put something, a sign on the highway or something,
Right.
So, the Arco right there. Hey,
Yeah.
give us something there, a little signage right there or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
But as you're zooming by there, you're not going to see it. So there's got to be a different way of how we do that too,
Yeah.
So, but that'd be great.
Yeah. Because the sad part about Piru is that so Fillmore, the 126 goes through Fillmore, and they have all of those businesses that are lined up along the 126. So people will stop.
Mm-hmm.
In Piru, there's the only business facing the freeway is the station.
Arco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's nothing there. So people just zip right by it, not even really realizing that there's a town there.
You're going into Piru if the only way you're going in there is because if there's something specific you're going to.
Yeah.
You're not just going, oh, let's check this out, and
well, and it's the same thing with their coffee shop. They have the coffee shop and they have all those new homes, but those new homes are built off the freeway. So they take a right-hand turn to go onto the freeway. Nobody goes left to go into town.
Yeah.
So it's
a little trickier.
Yeah.
But it can be done though. I mean, that town's got so much potential.
Yeah, there's been a ton of filming that goes on over there.
Got a lot of activity. They're going to change the name to the Weissmans.
I know.
but I mean, they're fantastic. They've
Mr. and Mrs. Piru.
Yeah, they've revived that community, and I applaud them for doing that. That's a lot of work. A lot of time they put into that. But they have a vision, and it's great.
And you're talking about some people who, for all practical purposes, could just retire, sit back, lay back, and enjoy life. And instead, they chose to be a part of the community and to help build that community and raise it up to be something.
They're fully invested.
Yeah.
That I know of a handful of people that do that in their communities, and it's amazing what they do.
Yeah. Because they don't have to.
No, they don't have to at all.
No.
They could easily be on a cruise and spend their time traveling around the world and doing whatever. And but it's more of a labor of love. And, they live there, so they want to make it nice.
Yeah.
So, and they have the capacity to do it, which is great.
Okay. So 1 minute or less. What do we got going? We have the State of the City in Santa Paula happening on June 11th at the Ag Museum.
Correct.
Is it at the Ag?
Palazzo.
Palazzo. That's right. That's Palazzo. That Ag was last year's.
Yeah. And they're asking people to register, get a count. So I know you can go on the city website.
Yeah.
There's a link to sign up. It's free to go. They just want to get a number.
Yeah.
Which helps.
Yeah.
It does help. So
what else we got going?
Cruise night this Friday.
Yep.
Red Rock Road is the band that's playing.
Nice. So that's the mayor's
band. So I was curious to see what's going to go on there.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, there's the torch run for the police department that they're doing that for the Special Olympics torch run.
Okay.
So they're doing that Wednesday. They just did a tip a cop thing this last Friday. So there's a lot of little events. I mean, I think the art museum's got something going on. It's because it's the first Sunday of the month.
Right.
So they have the art museum, the ag museum, and the aviation museum, are all doing something. So check all that out too. Social media is the best way to go. There's a lot of information.
Right.
About that. The Santa Paula Chamber puts out a lot of good information on social media.
Real quick before we go, I just recently did some analytics for a business that was heavily posting on Instagram and treating Facebook like it was the ugly stepchild. So I'm going through it and I'm like, this can't be right. I'm looking at it. I'm going, you have 5 times the amount of views on Facebook than you do on Instagram. 5 times the amount of views. And so it goes to show you that people, when they look at this, they kind of go, oh, Instagram is the thing. Instagram's the thing. Oh, you got to be on Instagram. Well, who's your customer? Because Facebook is still the largest platform in the world. And the people that you're appealing to, if you're in your 20s or whatever, and teenager, you're on Instagram and you're doing all that. But I'm telling you, Facebook dominated this customer's activity.
40 years and up, 35, 40 years on up, those are your Facebook people.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that are your shoppers. Those are the ones that are going to go out and support your business.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know, how many times do you get on a Facebook and all of a sudden you hit the Reels section and you just start flipping through the Reels. And then before you know it, an hour's gone by because you've been watching all these Reels.
They made it so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of it's good stuff. Some of it is just
Yeah.
garbage, but it's just whatever. But you can get some really good information.
I get some really good jokes from Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. I love watching those jokes. His stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, stories are great.
Yeah.
You know? And I gotta admit, there's a lot of creativity on social media. People do some crazy stuff, and some really good stuff, but there's a lot of bad stuff on there too. And just people, these people shouldn't be on there. They're not as funny as they think they are.
Yeah.
You know, so but they try.
So I'm gonna leave you with this.
Okay.
So this guy is going camping, driving up the mountains, and a policeman pulls him over and walks up to the car and says, "Sir, are you aware that your rear headlight, your brake lights are out?" And he jumps out of the car in a panic. And the cop says, "Whoa, it's okay. It's just, you know, you don't need to get too excited. It's just a small infraction." And the guy says, "It might not be a big deal to you, but it means I lost my trailer, my wife, and my 4 kids."
Mhm.
Anyways,
Yep.
We'll leave you with that.
And with that,
Okay. Have a good week. We will see you all next month.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.